Alright, let's go up and see what's going on at the PUG Challenge. Why so serious? Why are you on camera? Yeah. Registration. Cindy's ready to help everyone. We have a program up on the screen.
Lovely yellow one for you. Yeah. Special.
Yeah. And do I get a special one as well?
You get a really special one.
Oh, that's very special. Wow.
Toothpaste.
Okay. So Mike, you're doing a last minute preparations for the workshop?
Yeah. No, of course not. Already preparing for next year, you know.
Okay, that's a fancy looking one.
Always ahead
of
time.
Right, you're ahead, so it's next year's workshop, right? You're anticipating all the questions.
That's good tradition at the books, you know, that you are very well prepared.
Yeah,
exactly. I think never ever was a presentation done in the night before.
No, you've never done that? No.
No one at the books did.
No, people don't do that. So, you're on camera.
Oh!
So you're getting set up? Ready for a few busy days?
Oh, busy days. Yes, really for that.
Yeah, good, excellent. The ducks have changed colour. So as usual, the consortium might have the bath ducks, but also the Haribo sweets. But business as usual.
Good.
Good.
What about you?
Yeah, good. Very busy.
Morning.
How are you?
Very good.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like.
Smile, you're on camera.
Oh.
Did you came with a truck or what?
Yes, they did.
Someone came with a truck, not me.
These are just how you pick the discs. You go out there and it'll tell you that you have the bundles that he's just talking about. So I got how big it is, 1 terabyte, 500.
Classic way to profile. Well, the reason you don't want to do that is because it's not repeatable.
And it's very important to understand that your modernization project has a major impact to your daily operations and obviously requires very careful planning for implementation. I mean,
what you're doing, and as soon as you make any change in the system, it automatically recompiles and you can see it directly online. And this is the first simple demo what we want to.
So it started 30 years ago, but it still works. This one still works. Not many customers. A few. They hope we maintain this again a long time.
Is you want to buy SSD. It's the only way to go. When you're buying from Amazon or you're buying from Microsoft, you need to go to their SSD layer.
Because it looks a bit like a spreadsheet. But the main difference is instead of working with A1, B5, C3, you're working with a vocabulary. So you're working with real names. And the Corticon vocabulary It's really like a database schema. So you create, I think they call it.
It's extremely useful for the XML-based objects. So if you have a procedure that creates lots of XNodeRef and XDocument objects to process an XML document, then it's almost mandatory to create a widget pool, because otherwise you lose track of how many of these node refs you have for dealing with different XML nodes, and how long they're needed.
Join remotely is a valuable discovery that COVID helped us to come across. I think as hopefully safety, health environment improves, more and more people will elect to join us on site. Nothing can replace face-to-face interaction, listening to music, sharing meals, drinks, being in a big conference room. That's just amazing.
Yeah, well, a good thing. I think the added value is important. We have a lot of customers also over here, and also potential people are walking around, so we're happy to sponsor that. It's a very good initiative, and to share information, share knowledge, that's key. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, so we're happy to sponsor the PUG in that way.
I use them, I wouldn't say almost exclusively, I use them very frequently. I like them a lot. I'm tempted whether I should tease you guys and say because it allows me to reuse code, but I won't. I like OO because it helps me make fewer mistakes in my code. It can, right? You can make mistakes. You can write spaghetti code in any paradigm, procedural or functional, I'm sure.
So I'm a Progress DBA. I started working with Progress right out of school. I graduated from McGill in 1994, and I got recruited by what was then the biggest open edge Progress VAR in Canada, and I worked with them for a few years, and then I ventured off on my own, and I've basically been a DBA and kind of a technical architect kind of guy ever since.
Project tracks that we have, and also as much as important is to create a safe environment and create a development team back in Romania that can actually scale and take on those huge challenges that we have today with in the market.
Yeah, of course I had a commercial session about Build One, and I also had another session about Corticon and Corticon.js and how to use it, how to integrate it with OpenEdge, and also how to differentiate the two and differentiate rules from processes, things like that.
Well, so I quickly learned after being in IT that I wanted to be a developer. So the stepping stone to development was into porting. So I was doing ports where we ported to more than 100 different platforms, all these different Unix variants. The most interesting one would be the Adiza, where all the man pages and all the commands were in Portuguese. So that was kind of challenging to do that port.
That's a very, very good question. Before I was working on myself, I've been working for Progress Software as a consultant in Cologne. And I think in 2000 when I left Progress, I've been at all these conferences. There's the PUG challenges here in Europe. There have been PUG challenges in North America, in South Africa, in the Baltics. We even did do PUG challenges in Australia. I think in those 22 years, taking the COVID time aside, probably at least 30.
Hyper-automation is to bring about end-to-end process transformation. As per Gartner, this is one of the top 10 technology trends for 2021 and beyond. Just to give you an example, for retail and CPG customers, customer return is impacts 4% of the bottom line.
My role is to run the company as a manager and do some database stuff and sometimes a little bit programming.
So, is it fair to say that you're the boss?
Yeah, one of the bosses.
What's your favorite thing to do? Work with a database or work with stuff in the garden?
I'd rather work with the database.
Yeah, okay. But gardening is also a nice pastime, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Having trouble making time pass in retirement, or have you got?
Oh no, I don't have time to work.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a good thing.
And UK PUG and many others who were there and joined our forces and made it a new event. It was called the EMEA PUG Challenge And we started in, I think it was 12, 13 years ago in Cologne.
So this year, Paulius Kuprevičius is presenting a new Visual Studio Code plugin called ProBro, and it's a plugin to browse database, progress database on Visual Studio Code.